I'm happy you're okay. I didn't realize that happened after the bicycle accident. Yeah, I barely recovered. And then the change of temperature got me when I went from Costa Rica, which is tropical. I'm almost naked all day, every day. And going to US, where I was in two hoodies, two sweatpants, and two hats indoors. Because I have zero body fat. Even before the accident, I wasn't, I was a skinny dude. Skinny, skinny dude, usually, all my life. So then it hit me even further. So being indoor, lack of oxygen, um, I wasn't still recovered from the accident. I was experimenting with a lot of health things on my own, and some of those were not ideal. And it wasn't ideal, like I said, going to a place. I just gotten used to being in nature all the time, being in nature all year round, where there's nothing under summer temperature. And in this state, still recovering from a near-death accident 2 months ago, barely, I went to a place where I had to be indoors, so heated indoor air, lying down, no movement, no exercise, poor oxygen, eating a lot of stuff I shouldn't have for holidays, all contributed to destabilizing my nervous system further, and then I was burnt out. I did not take the near-death experience nearly as serious as I should, which resulted in another one. And yes, I'm really glad I'm still alive. This has changed my life completely, utterly and completely. Now the most important things for me, I can walk, I can go places, I can travel again, I can be outside, I can wipe my own butt, I can wash myself, I can feed myself, I can dance, do qigong, do martial arts, I can skateboard again, I can swim again, I can sprint. Well, almost. I can run. I can sprint a little bit. Still, the legs are. It's only been 8 months. So, for 8 months, I've been progressing. I've been progressing. So, 8 months ago, I wasn't able to lift my head off the pillow. I was, like you see, a disabled person completely. All muscles atrophied. So be careful. This is what happens when you're bedridden. This is what happens when you have prolonged hospital stay. I was in the hospital after the hematoma for a month, and after the ICU thing for 2 months. And that was more than enough for me to lose all the muscle. I wasn't pretty muscular anyway, but I was able to travel, I was able to skateboard, to swim, to run, to do all the basic human things, and even more, to do sports. But then after the two accidents, you just lose a lot. You just lose it. Use it or lose it. So right now, it has changed my life completely. All the priorities that I have none of them anymore. I've seen the other side, guys. I have memories of the states, mental states and spiritual states where I was, and what I came back from, where I came back from. And being able to walk and breathe in nature, in sunlight, that's the cap. That's the cap. No societal success, status, hierarchy. I'm better than this person. I have succeeded in life, career. Yeah, these things are amazing. If you are not happy just sitting and breathing, nothing in the world will ever be enough. No food, no relationship, no children, no family, nothing. You need to be happy. You need to learn how to be happy just sitting and breathing. When you are happy just sitting and breathing, then everything, all the spiritual teachings of enlightenment, of Christ consciousness, unity, love, whatever you are searching, if you are searching for it, this is the easiest thing that I can sum it up, is you are sitting next to a tree and you are breathing in, and the feeling of the lungs going like this and then going like this, and you're sitting there and you can move your shoulders, you can move your head around, you can circle your hips, the sun is out, you can stand up and follow the sun, you can go into the forest. If this doesn't make you happy, you need to change your priorities. Do not wait for something that happened to me that needs to happen to you in order for you to appreciate these things in life. Because after I've came back, I look at the world and all I see, 90% of humanity, 99% of all of you guys, I'm not pointing fingers to be rude, I'm just saying, so much is so serious for no reason. Everyone is invested in such nonsense. People, what I like to say, people are choosing such ridiculous hills to die on. And I don't mean literally die on, but you know the saying, like, is this the hill that you're choosing to die on? Meaning, is this the battle that you're choosing to fight? Is this what you're fighting for? No, you gotta fight for your legs to be able to work when you're 55, 60, 75, 80, 150 or 500 if you're gonna be a turtle like me. Because after where I've been, I know I can go. I know I can go. 500 is nothing in my mind now. Because you gotta know your priorities and you gotta know the limits of your own body. This is one of the biggest lessons that I spoke about now with the travels. That's the limit of the body and the pace of the body. Where did you come back from? A beautiful and very scary place. Thank you, Jessica, for the donation. Yeah. I went to the darkest corners of my mind. Because it was life-threatening for me to get up and move, they had to restrain me just so I wouldn't, with the hematoma, if I were to get up before it heals, I might just get up and it's done and I'm gone. So they had to restrain me. And in the ICU, because I was rebellious and pulling everything and breaking everything, they had to restrain me again. I was denying, I was like, I'm not sick. Don't keep me chained. The feeling of being locked was really triggering for me. Like, I'm in a hospital, you should be helping me. Why am I? But it was for my own good. I know this now, of course. And in that state where not only do you cannot move physically, like your muscles are so atrophied you can't move, but the little that you can move, they got your hands in mittens so you don't pull things and your hands are tied to the bed like this, and you're constantly in this. I got tubes in my nose and in my mouth and they're feeding me things because I can't eat by myself. And in that state, you're in constant digestion and you're always sleepy. You're sleepy, you wake up for 20 minutes and immediately you're sleepy again, because where you're gonna get the energy? There's no fresh air, you've been pumped with artificial food, you don't move your body, and if you wanted to, you couldn't. Where am I gonna get any vitality in my system? Where? And it's the hospital, it's the most lovely place to be, you know? And in that state, it's a limbo. It's a limbo. You go to the darkest places of your mind, the darkest fears. What is gonna happen? What is this? Light beeping. So I go to sleep, and 20 minutes after that, there's a machine whirring, pumping me with fluids. And that sound is... And every 30 minutes it wakes you up, and you go like this. And you've just barely survived twice, and you got these flashing lights right there. You got this whirring right there. You got a person over there in the ICU yelling, help me, or whatever. You got people coming in all the time, is he fine? You got people taking your blood every 15 minutes. So what that does to your mind, after the hospital was, let's say, the near-death hematoma when I fell from the bicycle, when I crashed in Costa Rica, that was near-death trauma number 1. Near-death trauma number 2 was what happened, what made me end up in the ICU. That was the thing I talked about, the temperature change, the low oxygen, not moving, not being recovered yet, and just the big change. The third one is the hospital stay. That was the third traumatic experience, which even exacerbated the whole thing. Now, me being able to A, talk about these things in a positive way, B, being able to walk, let alone anything other than just walk and wipe my own butt. All the swimming, all the skateboarding, all the martial arts I'm doing right now, all the running and jumping, conditioning, push-ups, yoga, breathwork, hikes, 28,000 steps some days, at least 10 to 15,000 steps every single day. That's 2 hours of walking minimum, hiking uphill, downhill. I was like, this is not like, this is basically 3 instances of angels just being like, nah man, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? You're early. What do you mean? You're going back. You got like 400 years to go. What do you think? What are you thinking? What are you thinking? You're done? No. Here's a bunch of energy and faith and miracles, and you're going back, because that's what it is. Like, this is 3 out of 9, I guess. 3 out of 9 lives. Cat is one of my spirit animals. And after that, I'm just so glad to be alive. I'm so glad to be alive, it's so ridiculous. It's like, there's so, and this is what keeps me going. This is what keeps me going. First, anytime anything happens in my life, from that point onwards, I'm just laughing at it. It's like, what? You know, if I was able to bounce back from all that, what is this then? What is this then? You can heal anything if you want. Do you want to keep going? Then you gotta keep showing up for yourself every day. Now, every day, first 2 hours in my morning, breathwork, meditation, movement. I wake up in the morning, first 2 hours, I just walk, move, jump, yoga, breathwork, qigong, fascia maneuvers, swimming, celery juice, lemon, herbal tea, cleansing my aura field in the ocean every day that I can. Breathwork sometimes 2 to 3 times a day to regulate emotions. Saying no to all the junk in all forms. Why? Do you want to be here? Do you want to be here? Take care of your body. Take my story. What is it like to not be able to walk? You're worried. What are you worried about? I'm betting you're not worried about your physical state as much as you should. I bet you're not worried about your breath as much as you should be. I bet you're not worried about your emotional state as much as you should be. Well, you may be worried what people think of you. You might be worried about what if you don't go to a place, what will people think of you then? Or you might be angry at somebody in traffic yesterday. You might yell at the person at the grocery store. How important is that? How important is that? This is what I want to close with. Is after I've been through all this, now I view the entirety of humanity as one big Televisa presenta. Ricardo, you are your own father, Ricardo. How could you do this to me? The whole humanity, one big circus. Everybody dying on ridiculous hills. Do you know that saying? Meaning, what are you fighting for? What is the priority in your life? And I know some people that I have an ex-girlfriend when I was in college, and she accidentally fell through a glass door. So there was a door which wasn't full wood. The middle of the door was glass, and she tripped and fell through the glass door and cut her hands and almost bled out to death. And she told me she also saw this other side, this place where there's no, it's infinite bliss. You don't have to worry about anything. It's pure light and love. You don't have to worry about your body. You don't have to worry about nothing. But then you got nothing physical, which makes you learn that when you're here, the main thing is the physical. Because once you are out of here, you can't touch things. You can't taste things. You can't feel the sunshine on your skin because there's no skin. So what is the purpose of life? Experience it. Feel it. The basics, the most basic things are the most beautiful and free. Everything else is you're just wasting your energy. You're wasting your energy on things that society feels like you need to prove yourself with. So, and then I remembered the level of depth she had because she almost died, meaning she came back, and then you see the world differently, so differently. The basic things are now beautiful because you almost lost it. We don't appreciate things that we don't almost lose. And I'm just walking around now, and every single person for me is a drama queen. I'm sorry guys, all of you probably are in the same category. Meaning that the things that you prioritize in your life are so ridiculous. Things that you're not gonna remember tomorrow. People that are not gonna remember you tomorrow. That we are putting so much emphasis on. That we are the grand somebody in someone else's life. Or you need to do this in order to be happy. The more those things you got, the less you're never gonna do it. You're never gonna be happy. And then all the ridiculous things that I've started with. Owning land. I am now the master of this part of the planet. Yeah, right. The only thing you own is the body, and that's only borrowed. That's only temporarily. Not even that is fully yours. You got this as a vehicle to move around. Not even this is fully yours. Let alone, I own this territory. I own these mansions and these acres, and this is all mine. Own yourself. Own your breath. Own your mind. Own your opinions. Own your story in life. This is what you own, if you own that. And not a lot of people own that. Own your spine. Own your no. And own your yes. So that's it for today. That's it for today. Everyone else and you as well. Peace, health, abundance, wholeness, prosperity, courage, and clarity. And this life, you know, guys, it's a wonderful adventure. Fear and anxiety are the same as excitement, just where you put it and how you use it. So take my example and make sure it's courage. You know, when you go outside and people tell you, your mom tells you, stay safe. You know what I'm saying? What I'm gonna say to you when you're going outside in the world? Be brave. It's the same, but not the same at all. Not stay safe. Be brave. You're gonna get the same result and a much, much different result. The energy much, much different. So stay brave. Infant Mutant Ninja Turtles. Adolescent Mutant Ninja Turtles. Adult. No, we're not adults. We're not adults. We're all infants on the grand scale of 500 years old turtles. If we're gonna be 500-year-old turtles, we're still all Infant Mutant Ninja Turtles. Right. Much love, beautiful people.